But without further ado, allow me to introduce myself and my teammates. So on the Emberr.ai team, we have Dr. Mark Lee, Dr. Rahul Grover, and myself. My name is Eric Allen. I am a third-year medical student at UT Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas, Texas. And being a student myself, I helped ground our ideas and project in real-world needs, providing context and insight from the trainee's perspective. Dr. Rahul Grover is a gastroenterology fellow physician at UT Southwestern. And as a clinical educator and co-founder of Emberr.ai, Dr. Grover guided the educational direction for our product. And last but not least is Dr. Mark Lee, who's an ENT resident physician at the NYP Cornell and Columbia Medical Institute in New York. Dr. Lee is also co-founder yet technical lead at Emberr.ai, and he chiefly built the UI and infrastructure of our project. So the Emberr.ai adventure kind of began with our team pondering what the relevant and significant current educational challenges are for undergraduate medical trainees, namely pre-medical and medical students. And so as I considered it, the need for an accurate yet artistically structured diagram generator almost immediately came to mind. You see, in the healthcare field, there's a vast amount of critical information, often associated with complex biochemical pathways. These detailed pathways, presented in simple text formats, can be mentally burdensome and problematic for both memorization and genuine comprehension. Enter Emberr.ai, our AI-powered diagram generation tool with a unique workflow that creates organized, customizable, and factually correct diagrams that enhances the student's learning and knowledge retention from a simple text prompt. And although we initially designed Emberr for pre-medical and medical students, after our first few iterations, we actually realized that our platform's illustrations are universally applicable really to any student or trainee. That epiphany kind of guided our focus in designing Emberr's UI to be simple and clear as to be approachable for all students. So in stereotypical healthcare worker fashion, of course, we did some research to see if our anecdotal experiences were backed up by the numbers. In a 2018 survey study, 80% of the polled audience, that being first-year medical students, reported a preference for visual tools as compared to textual verbal counterparts. And then in the 2013 and 2025 studies, those studies show that medical students not only again prefer the visual tools, but that in utilizing them, they significantly outperform the groups that did not. And yes, while it is currently possible to generate a diagram from a text prompt using current AI models, the resulting images are frequently inaccurate or bizarre in terms of a layout. For example, when we asked Claude, can you create a diagram for me that explains the hyperparathyroid pathway? It did create a diagram, as you can see here. However, the diagram is factually incorrect. And then we identified a key misstep that was occurring. The uniqueness of our workflow is thus born from these observed errors, but I'll let Dr. Rahul Grover further explain as I hand it over to him.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eric. And not only is the diagram inaccurate, it's visually complex and it doesn't really help the pedagogical pathway. So we created Ember. Now, Ember on the next slide, while it may look like any platform out there, it is designed to visually represent complex topics in simple, accurate, and learning theory aligned visual aids. We did this by parsing and systematically programming the individual components of what a good educational diagram is: accurate, logic, and visually appealing. And so we designed it in this easy to navigate user interface. Mark, if you just go back a little bit in that video, you see you can simply ask a question, and there you go, you get a generated diagram, which, unlike the one generated by Claude, is simple, accurate, and visually appealing. It's easy to memorize, it's easy to learn. Now, that same complex information is now, and inaccurately represented information is now in a very easily represented and excellent learning tool. Furthermore, users can customize these diagrams using either the template that they like, prefer, the font, the color palette, the art included, or even the content of the topic itself. Lastly, we've designed it to be iterative and improving through a network effect. Users can vote, or just based on their use patterns, we can customize and adjust the different types of diagrams. We hope that this is going to be not just relevant to the medical and pre-medical field, but to any field out there, because it can be used in research, in finance, in politics, anything out there. So this is a great standalone tool as is, or we've generated into a process where, Mark, on the next slide, you can and the next one after that, where you can integrate it using an API service into pre-existing platforms. And we've done that by integrating it into our current platform, which is Brainbrew.ai. And that's a multimedia, multimodal learning platform using AI tools. And so, for example, not only can in Brainbrew you generate easy study guides or audio tools or flashcards or quizzes, but now using whatever resource we had uploaded, either user uploaded or publisher uploaded, generate easy diagrams that are pedagogically aligned as part of our image generator platform. And this uses an API key for the Ember platform. So it kind of leads into the monetization and the business model a little bit. It's directly to consumer in a standalone fashion, or it can be a B2B model as well. And that kind of leaves it at where we are. So open to field any questions.
So the tool seems like it's solving for a problem that you've discussed in medical education. Um, what would be the best way, as folks who've gone through the process yourself, to embed this in the learning experience? Do you see yourself wanting to pursue a partnership with a curriculum provider? Would you want to build a study tool direct to medical students? Um, say more on that front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, you can go ahead.
Oh no. So I think that the previous slide really highlights something that answers your question. I think that we really built it for users, of course, like to generate their own diagrams, but we actually built it for our other company. We had a need to generate accurate diagrams in our app Brainbrew. Specifically, for example, we generate practice questions for our entrance exam, like the medical college admissions test. And part of that is having diagrams that students can interpret. We had no capabilities to do this well with existing tools, so we built an API for it. So we see it as both usable for consumers and companies like ours who need some sort of diagram generation capability in their own app.
Jonah, did that answer your question or were you going in a different direction?
No, that's definitely helpful. Thank you.
Thanks for
And go ahead.
thanks for the presentation. Enjoyed it. It was um, I'm thinking about this as outside of the medical profession and thinking how useful it'd be for lots of different people. My question is though around is this a must-have product or a nice-to-have product? And if you want it to be a sustainable company and a business, somehow you have to convince people that it's a must-have instead of a nice-to-have. So, what are your thoughts on that? And do you agree that it's a nice-to-have and not a must-have? And if so, how will you convince people that it's a must-have?
Sure, that's a great question. And I think part of the must-have question is what are your needs as learners? I think there is greater awareness in learners in college and pre-medical, but not only medical, any graduate field, that there's a concept of metacognition or meta learning. And so people are more aware of not only the content, but how they need to learn the content. And that was the inspiration for Brain Brew, where we were hoping to integrate in one individual platform various study tools. So students can just go on, upload their diagrams, or teachers can use the platform as well to upload their curriculum and allow students to study from it. Now, Ember is just one aspect of that that creates a really hard, it's very difficult to access service, but it can do so in one simple platform. So I think it is user dependent. It is self-selecting in a way. People do search for certain things. We just feel that the market is large enough that there will be enough people and ongoing people. The learning span of somebody using this is from high school to their 50s. Um, and so I think it'll be fine in terms of a market.